Last minute adjustment. Very nice. We actually live from Columbus, OH, just like the debt-free screamers from the Ramsey show today. And this is the Ramsey Show After Show. Friday, what is it? May the 9th be with you. And let's get started here. I am Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you, yes, you are having money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation assessment with me at calendly.com. That link is in the ticker below, also in the video description. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. And if you scroll past the Oak Island playlist, now why is that yesterday's? I put it in the wrong playlist. Oops. I'll have to fix that. The Ramsey Show After Show, Ramsey Show After Show after that Oak Island playlist. We'll show you all of these. And yeah, that was a dumb mistake. I will have to fix that. And the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist has 138 in there, so way many hours. So that is coming up on 700 different shows about money. And the music playlist has 12 Ramsey adjacent songs in there, such as How to Do the Baby Steps Right. So listen to those if you are so inclined. Singing, not my regular job. So give me a break on that. But you might like the words. They're Ramsey adjacent, as I said. Market report. Market was up last time I looked at it. It has since gone down. And I wonder if the reason is because of articles like this. Bloomberg, key S&P 500 model turns bearish for the first time in 2 years. Now, when I saw this article and grabbed it, obviously not gonna subscribe to read the thing or even un-ad block it. Just wanted the title there, but this I saw to say what time. Oh, 5:30 this morning. Okay, well, I guess that doesn't exactly explain then what caused it to go from being up here and fairly decently up as well, and then now down, unless it is, of course, you get people in the market that over the weekend, they on Fridays, they like to lock in any gains that they can get. So like, if it gets to X number like this, or up here like that, they may have computers programmed to sell. And so they're, day trading people. And so Russell small cap index. Oh, there it goes. There, NASDAQ came back a little bit, barely above even, and Russell small cap index 0.4%. All right, so we'll see how that goes. It's still early going in the day. What do we have the rest of the planet looking like? Everything up in Europe, mostly down in Asia. That US dollar down to the euro, down to the Japanese yen, down to the British pound low, down, up, just switched on the Canadian dollar A. Sorry, just switched. So just a hair above the Canadian dollar A, but down to the Australian dollar. Australia says NAR. And so after a clean sweep, I think it was 2 days in a row of a clean sweep of being US dollar being higher than everybody else, today might not be that way. So we'll check that later. I am still going to do one last 4 p.m. stream It doesn't seem like that's picking up any views or newer subscribers being at the 4 p.m. old Ramsey time slot. And so I probably will just do this one. What up, Aslin? Brought myself out. What else was I doing? My mom was German, and she would say that instead of she'd say brought myself out instead of like I forgot what I was doing. Oh, let's see. Where are we? We got for next week. We got new holdings. I don't know what that is. Charles Schwab, obviously brokerage, and of course the Walmart. So those numbers will be interesting. And they had already said that spending was being reeled in by Americans, which is weird to hear. Let's see, most followed single stocks on the Google in the early going today. Again, we used to be able to look at the market after close, but now we're looking at it right pretty soon after it opens. Everything else down? Nope. Tesla up 6.68%. Let's see if the news says anything else that happened. Yep. See, this was 18 hours ago. That was about the rally yesterday. Bitcoin back, I guess. Again, bouncing. A lot of bouncing for the Bitcoin. And still not advised by Mr. Ramsey. Cargo thieves are attacking the U.S. supply chain at alarming rates. Well, we're going to have to do something about that, I would imagine. British Airways plane caught fire at Gatwick after pilot confusion. Okay, the pilot being confused doesn't set a plane on fire. Is he confused about, oh, I shouldn't set the plane on fire? Is that what he was confused about? That doesn't automatically, just because you're confused about something else doesn't make your plane catch fire. Lip shares popped 20% after buyback. CEO says there are no signs of worry in the consumer. Okay. So I guess people still taking their lifts and Ubers. EcoFlow's new backyard solar energy system starts at $599. No installation crew or permits needed. Somebody's got to install it. So how does it get installed? Popular firearms ammo dealer files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. That's a shame. How Apple created a legal mess when it skirted a judge's ruling. I would think it would. When you try to skirt a judge's ruling, generally you got to pay attention and do what the judge says. Generally, if you have Apple kind of money, maybe you don't. Who knows? Major crypto bill fails key vote, and that is in the U.S. Senate, I believe, is where that was in, and trying to reel it in, trying to do some regulation on it, and it failed to vote though in the Senate. They will keep working on it though, I'm sure. Is that all we needed to? Yeah, that's all we need for the market report. Did that one. We have a new Pope, Pope Leo, and he's from America. I didn't even know that was possible. Interesting. Studyfinds.com. Money worries crushing mental health. 7 in 10 Americans report peak financial stress. Yeah, hey, got a great idea. Don't have debt, and then you might have less financial stress. Stop spending more money than you need to, than you're able to even. Stop doing it. Don't do it, it's bad. The U.S. Sun, as opposed to the British version of it. Children banned from using phone for more than 1 hour per day under new law. Then that is in Virginia, where I used to live. Long time. That's where I grew up. But it all depends on the app. Okay, Blah Mirror is a similar bill that was rejected in the Utah. All right, and I did see about it, like parents would have to allow them to do it. So, and actually how that works, I don't know. How parents give their consent, I don't know about that, but that's how that works. If the parents don't give consent, that's how they're banned. But again, enforcement, it would seem like, would be an issue. All right, let's do some questions. What up, Crumbler? Crumbler LOL did something. Where are we at? Did we do the refinance car? We did that one. I don't think we did the refinance car yet. This is Connor 121118. Car loan, 618 minimum payment. There's about 28K left on the car. I'm seeing offers to refinance. No, you just pay it off. Just pay it off, or maybe even sell it. How much do you owe on it? 28K. Maybe you sell the car and get a $5,000 beater. How about that? I'm going into debt for school, and I take it that Dave would advise against that. I think I did that one. Yeah. So the problem is for that is, yeah. So let's look at the best case scenario if you take out debt for school. So, or the worst case, rather. The worst case is, and people don't ever think about that, they don't ever think about that they will be among the half that flunk out. So that's the first problem. You got to graduate first to be able to get that job in your field so that you can pay off that debt quickly. But then also, even if you graduate, you might not be able to get a job in your field for whatever reason. Maybe it's a dumb field. Who knows? And so then you're stuck with all that debt. So it doesn't justify taking out the loan for it. So that's a NAR. Need advice, alternative rush one. I feel like, for me, I'm having a hard time thinking clearly given my stress, lack of sleep, and option overload. Oh, we did this one too. This one, the person was just thinking about so many different things that none needed to be thinking about. What would Dave do? He would follow his baby steps and his advice instead of trying to think of something else to do to not do the stuff, as Mr. Ramsey says. Let's see. Pets. Did we talk about pets? So most discussion about financial mistakes, car budgeting. How much money should a household spend on pets? There should definitely be a limit. I think we did that one as well. Has been buying mutuals, and that's another abbrev there, I guess, for mutual funds. And so you buy up or down. Did that one as well. I thought one of those back there I didn't do, and they do change position sometimes, so sorry for the repeats from yesterday. Let's see. Oh, the Commonwealth of Virginia. Yep, that's them. Crumbler. As I said, I think the objective with the tariffs was to get other countries to start talking about the tariffs they are using on U.S. made product. Yeah, of course. And to get a deal done like they did with the UK, with the bloody UK. If the UK and US did it, so can the US and China. Yep. So, yeah. I never thought there wouldn't be negotiations on them and it having to be worked out. So, the idea is to don't freak out about anything that the government does, because they're going to keep doing stuff. They're going to keep doing stuff. They have to. Otherwise, it looks like they're not doing anything. So they have to look like they're doing something. So they do stuff. Let's see. Buying a second home and feeling selfish. Did we look at this one already? Yeah, you're feeling guilty. So this one, the problem with this one is didn't say if baby step 7, and also didn't say if buying it in cash, which you would have to do. There's no mortgage on a second home, which is a Baby steps 4 and 6, never Fox. Investing past IRS limits and extra mortgage payments. Well, you can't do that. If you do that on, as the kids say incorrectly, actually olds say it too incorrectly, but on accident, if you do that, you do have to fix that by taking it back out, fixing it with your taxes and so forth. So you do have to fix that. But let's see. We're technically on baby step 4. What does that mean technically? When people say that, that means automatically you must be doing it wrong. Let's see. But our income is high enough that we're unable to. We're technically on baby step 4, but our income is high enough that we're unable to save 15% of gross given the limits of annual 401k and IRA contribution. Okay, I'm going to guess that is not high enough. Oh, no. It's right. Okay. So it's high, so that means you're not unable to save the amount of money, but you can't put it in the retirement accounts, the tax advantage retirement accounts. So that's when you can do an HSA, maybe backdoor Roth you could look into as well. But other than that, you would just do a standard brokerage account. Yeah, taxable brokerage account. And speaking of step 6, was recommended as far as how much extra to pay on the mortgage. All of it. All your extra money goes to that. You don't do extra investing or savings. You do the 15%, which apparently good on you. In order you hit the max on the allowed tax advantaged fund accounts. Excuse me. And so good on you for that. And if you just do a taxable brokerage for the rest of the 15%, but everything extra other than that, and of course, baby steps 4 and 6, you can plan fun things, vacations, etc. So it doesn't have to be every extra cent, but the majority of the extra money, your snowball amount, as it were, would be to pay off the house so that you can be on step 7. Yeah. Financial coaching, Frosting Grand. Has anyone done the financial coaching course through Ramsey? You know what? Someone has done that. If so, is it worth it? I think so. Is it as simple as they make it sound? Yes, the Ramsey advice is very simple. It doesn't use the $10 college words. It's very easy to understand. Now, it's easy to understand, but most people aren't going to do it because of the sacrifice involved. And of course, you have to ignore the calculator sometimes because the calculator does not have a risk button on it. So, but understanding it, if you want to understand it, that's the big part of it. A lot of people don't want to understand it because they don't want to do it. And so they kind of intentionally misinterpret it. Let's see. More interest in helping others achieve their financial goals rather than the income they promised. Yeah. Okay. But also I'm looking for a small side hustle to help grow my goals as well. Any information is appreciated. Whether you can make money on it or not is not guaranteed, and the amount of money not guaranteed, of course. But just going through it was worth it to me. And of course, for me, it happened right at the exact time that I believe it was the Trump bucks. First we had the Biden bucks, and then we had the Trump bucks. No, first we had the Trump bucks, I think, and then the Biden bucks. Yeah, Trump first, then Biden. Trump bucks, and then the Biden bucks after that. And it was when the Biden bucks came in, and it happened to be, I think, 1,200, and it was, the financial coaching was 1,000. I think they've raised prices since then on that. So, of course, you would be in baby steps 4 through 6, at least on baby step 4, by the time you would do this. But I'm sure some people have taken it and thought it wasn't worth it, for sure. But I think it was, and I happened to get that check from the government for the stimulus, one of the stimulus payments, and I thought, oh, well, if I don't do it this time, right now, I probably won't do it ever. So I did it. Boo, boo, boo. Did that one yesterday too. Thanks, Sid. So it will really depend on how much the cost of product goes up versus the newer, higher paying jobs that will be created. Crum says, good to have intelligent conversation about tariffs instead of just being angry about increased prices. Yeah, well, people do focus on how it directly affects them, and they're not worried about anything else usually. Let's see, numerous ad 348, baby step 1. Did I do that one? Checked my savings account today after my paycheck hit, and I'm officially at 1020 in savings. I know it's not a major accomplishment, but I have a high student loan payment, and I've been working 2 jobs to be able to accomplish this. Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. That $20 needs to go to debt. Even $20, yes. Even $20 needs to go to debt. You're supposed to have 1,000. It says right on the, and this is the thing. Why, I don't know why people do it wrong or they misinterpret it. It says $1,000 right there. It doesn't say 1,020. Didn't say 3,000. Doesn't say 2,000. So make sure you get that out of there and do that. Next up is the 1,500 I have in credit card debt. Great. Only 1,500 is fabulous. Much better than 1,501 for sure. I'll be working 3 jobs this summer since my full-time job eases up in summer months. Only vacation I'll be taking is one my boyfriend's parents are generously covering. Except maybe incidental expenses. And so that's what you always got to be aware of when people give you free stuff like this that causes you to spend other money. So you do have to be aware of that. Hopefully the incidentals wouldn't be that much, though. I'm hoping by the end of the summer I can have that smallest debt paid off and start focusing on my car payment. Small win today. Proud of myself. Baby step 1. Actually, you're on baby step 2 because you have the $1,000. Congratulations. You can change your flare. Maybe this person doesn't like talk about their flare. How can I access my Build a Business You Love pre-order bonuses? No clue. You can call the customer care line for that, or if you ordered it from somewhere other than Ramsey Solutions, you would contact them to find out. Sad Manner 2491, absolutely confused about the labor market, please help me. Okay, now first of all, is the labor market something that you have to understand? That's what I would think. Let's see. As in, personally, I would like to see increase in the quality of products more so than cheaply made products at lower prices. Yeah. I'm staring down the barrel of losing my job any minute now due to job cuts. And is this overreaction? Watching the news too much, or is this based on actual facts? I'm in IT. I am in IT business administration. The only debt I have left is student loans, but I'm not paying that off before I have 6-month emergency savings because I'm doing it wrong. Well, I mean, if there's a 51% chance you are losing your job, yes, you should be paused on the baby steps. So, fine. But also be honest with yourself. If you're just too over worried, if you're C3POing it there, because the shiny guy always worries about everything. So if you're doing that, that's a no. But if there's 51% chance, that's where you draw the line there and you actually go in storm mode there. At first, I was optimistic because I figure I have a bachelor's degree, experience in my field, and figured I could land on my feet. But then I started perusing Reddit too much. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't do that except look at this, at this lovely content for me. And so, yeah, I don't be going on the Reddit and especially looking at the doomsday, uh, the sad ones where they just, oh, bad news and just complaining and complaining and complaining about stuff. I don't do that. Where we're at. Perusing Reddit too much, and it makes it seem like everyone is getting fired and no one can find a job. Well, see, here's what the problem is. It makes it seem, quit being dumb. You're being dumb. Makes it seem like everyone, obviously it's not everyone losing their job. Obviously it's not no one can find a job. And so you need to embrace the reality of the actual situation and stop using the exaggeration. Okay? And that's why I'm worried that this losing job thing for you might be exaggeration. It could be true, but again, if there's a 51% chance of you losing your job, then you can do storm mode and just pile up cash, and you wouldn't be paying extra on the thing. But you don't set it. You just pile up cash until that doesn't happen anymore. But also, if you think you might lose your job, hey, start looking for another one now. How about that? How about doing that? But you don't say, I'm going to have 6-month emergency fund first. No, you just start piling up cash now. You don't put a limit on it. You would keep piling up cash and pausing the baby steps until you have the other job. So get the other job. I've heard the phrase white collar recession so many times. Oh, see, that's the problem. You shouldn't even know sayings like that. This is the first time I've seen this. And you know why? Because I don't look at the dumb crap that you look at. So that's your problem. You got to all the time that you're doom, what is it? Doom scrolling, the kids call it, I think. Whoops. The time you're spending the doom scrolling, you should be looking for another job instead. Do good things with your time. That started the absolutely gut-wrenching feeling for me. So now I'm in panic mode and don't know what to do. Stop panicking. You are in baby step 3 already. Okay, yeah. So you would just if it's legitimate and it's not you over worrying due to the too much watching the news, due to too much doom scrolling, then you would pause it. If it's actually the truth, then you would pause baby steps and you would just be piling up cash. Even if it's more than over 6 months a limit or 6-month level of expenses, you would be doing that longer, but hopefully you get a job before that happens. But you would still be just piling up that cash to finish the emergency fund because you're on baby step 3. So it's likely not as bad as you think it is. Almost certainly not. Let's put it that way. Even if you are maybe in danger of losing your job, all the rest of the stuff you're thinking and reading and all that doesn't apply to you. Doesn't apply to you. Boo, 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 boo. What up, Trey? Yep, if the consumer settles for Shine, is that pronounced Shine? And Temu quality, that's what they will produce. Temu quite bad, but is crazy cheap. Made one purchase for them, and it was my last. Yeah. Trey says IT, and Trey in the IT business. IT is one of the industries still hiring people. If they have a lot of experience and active certs in needed fields, I'm not sure that person's story is legit. Yeah. People exaggerate and people worry needlessly a lot. And that's a nar from Trey on Temu. But a lot of the blame for cheap products is on the consumer. That much is certain. As it says, like air travel, everyone complains about how small the seats are. but very few people are actually willing to pay for more space. Yeah, indeed. Shein. Okay. Yeah, I never knew how to pronounce it, regardless of how it's spelled. Uh, and the only reason I know that it's Temu is because they had a Super Bowl commercial. Otherwise, I thought it was Temu forever. And Trey is going to spend a good bit more for high quality. Said enjoys trying snacks from other cultures, but I try to find a local international store rather than buying online. That is interesting, Sid. What is the best snack from another culture that you have ever had? I don't know that I've had any. Sydney is still going to call it Timu, and I use Abbreviations all the time, so I can't really throw stones. So knock yourself out, Sid, with that. But yeah, I'm rather really Americanized and don't really didn't really like. My mom would make German stuff sometimes, but I didn't really like any of it, any of that cuisine. No sauerkraut, for example. So really, really Americanized, but I'm sure there's some great stuff out there in the world, especially from the Mexican and Spanish realms. I'm sure some of that is fabulous. Mochi, I don't know what that is. I've seen it, don't know what it is. Is that mochi? Mochai? Wow, she's typing that. Benner Bejamin 23. Do I buy a different used car to lower my payment? You could do that. Good morning. I currently finance my vehicle for $400 a month. I owe $17,500 and have gone to multiple dealers, and I was offered $13,000. Do I finance a used vehicle around $7,500 and roll my negative equity into that vehicle loan in order to reduce my monthly payments closer to $200? No, you're doing it wrong. So you sell the car. Basically, you can get a new lower loan. And what that has to do is take care of your negative equity. You don't roll that into something else other than a separate loan. But that's not being rolled into. That is the reason for the separate loan. And so you would get that. And the reason for that is you owe $17,500 and they are offering 13, so you can probably get more in private sale. So maybe 14, so that would only be 3,500. So you borrow the 3,500 plus enough to buy a beater car and not do any more freaking finances from the dealer. You stay away from the dealer. That's how people lose money. That's an automatic loss as soon as you walk onto the dealer lot. So no, you don't finance a used vehicle around $7,500. You buy one for as cheap as you can. Definitely have your mechanic check it out though, to make sure it's good before you buy it. Well, there's no rolling. And to make that, I mean, that might be closer to 200, but again, you want to borrow as little as possible while still getting rid of the entire $17,500 car finance loan you have now. Debt elimination with Roth IRA, that's a NAR. WH Cobbin. Let's see what we got going on here. Other than this is a no already, you don't ever tap retirement until retirement. You don't tap home equity ever. Hello all. I'm 43 years old and have roughly $500,000 in debt, including house at 319K. Maybe you sell the house, move down in housing. I have a Roth IRA that is valued at 750K. I really want out of debt and I'm thinking of cashing this out after penalties and taxes. No, don't do that. I can pay everything off. No, don't do that. I'm tired of working and did 25 years. You're only 43 years old. 25 years in the Army. I'm sure they worked you pretty good. But you're only 43 years old, so no. Especially, I mean, okay, so you're tired of working. This is so dumb. You're tired of working, but also want to tap your retirement savings. You need to quit being dumb at some point. So I have the residual income coming from military retirement, VA benefits of nearly 10K per month. Then what is the problem? Pay off your debt with that 10K a month. Problem is, no matter how hard I try, maybe you have too much house and that's the problem, so sell the house. And then that takes you down to 181. I did the math correctly there. 181,000 in debt, and that sounds a lot better, doesn't it? Problem is, no matter how hard I try and how much my wife is on board with eliminating debt, she will not stop spending money. So that means she's not on board with it then. That means she's not on board with it. So, yeah, if you have that to deal with, sure. A spouse that's not on board is a problem for sure. But, again, hey, guess what? Guess what? By the way, if you tap your Roth IRA to pay off the debt, her spending isn't gonna stop. So quit being dumb. I do not want to work until I die. Wah. And would like to enjoy things. Wah. Without worry of how I'm going to pay bills and put food on the table. Wah. You have to work that out with her. Instead of trying to work around your spouse, you have to work with your spouse somehow. You have to come to a compromise. And you said you will not spending. If she doesn't compromise on that, that is a problem, and you guys need counseling for that. And you know, some probably wouldn't hurt for you to have some either. Pay bills and put food on the table. So would you do this and then start putting money from your retirement VA back into said Roth? And but see, you are under the impression that you are still, if you do that, something's going to change. It's not going to change. Grow for another 20, 25 years while adding monthly. Other than the BS penalties and taxes, it's not BS. That's part of the law. So that's not BS. That's how it works. And those penalties are there. Penalties are there to make you not do that because they're giving you a break on the taxes that you would owe on the gains, you dummy. I think this is a great idea, but I do get scared thinking about the behavioral spending problems. Yeah, that is the only problem here. That is the only problem here. Other than you thinking about things incorrectly. You're wrong about a lot of stuff. And you would not tap the retirement. That would be a no. Did not expect to get this much input. Thanks, everyone. How many? 37 comments. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta compromise with the wife. Communicate, compromise with wife instead of trying to work around her, because you cannot do that. It's difficult enough working with a spouse that likes to do spending. So There needs to be a limit set onto that, and guess what? Spenders don't generally like that or respond well to that, so that's why counseling likely is going to have to happen. All right, thank you for your service, by the way, but stop being dumb. It says put the mouse down and back away from the Roth account. That's good advice. Trey says, why would anyone want to cash out the 401k at that point? They're 43 and have a decent amount. Yeah. Turbocharges investments. Why do people never think their purchases are the problem? Yeah, well, again, it's the fact that he's trying to fix it with things that he can actually do. He can't make the wife stop spending. So he's trying to work around her is the problem. Yep, because I want it. Fairly sure if I switched to the financial audit, I could hear the guest say exactly that, probably, at any time. He eventually reduced how much he wanted when he saw we were making progress, and the extra money would speed us up. Excellent. Some people require the bribe. Yep. Made him buy his vape stuff and soda from that fun money line. Because I don't drink soda at home, and I certainly don't vape. Trey's glad that Mr. Sid doubled down on the commitment after he saw progress. Me too. It's fabulous. You have to work together. You do have to work together. Even if compromise means you're not doing the baby steps right. That's still better than not working together. Oh, as I said, maybe his wife needs to get a regular job and pay for her spending. That's a good idea. That's a problem, especially if she's not even doing any of the working. So they got some issues. Wonderful call 572. What would Dave do? Should I sell my rental? And you know my byline for this. Anything that says should I sell? And that generally means that the person knows darn well that that's exactly what they need to do. Otherwise, they don't bring it up. They would ask a question about how to keep it or how to do this dodge and scamming and scheming to try to keep stuff they shouldn't keep. Let's see. I have a rental in the U.S. paid off that I could sell for about $480,000. Doesn't feel right. $1,000. Minus the realtor fee for 6% for commission. Commission do take a bite. I'm getting $21.16 a month for it and rental income for a year now. I mean, and that's the case. See, I mean, real estate is great for people that like real estate. Mr. Ramsey loves it, of course, but he doesn't buy anything that is not a super great deal for him. But it's who was it today or yesterday's show? I can't remember. Ken has been on all week, I think, and I think it was him that was saying that the person was making $1,000 profit a month, so that's $12,000 a year, and you have to go through all the hassles of being a landlord. Is that worth $12,000 a year? And then all that goes away if you need to repair the roof or get a new roof. Let's see. It was a primary residence before that, so I just became a landlord by default. Not a good advice for most people to do. Oh, I have this is where I live. This is my house. I'm going to move. Oh, I should be a landlord. Nope, most times not. So if I sell it in the next 2 years, I don't have to pay taxes on the capital gain. Great. Do that. I bought another house which still have about $645 loan on it. Yeah, you would do that. Okay, so even if I mean, maybe that's why you're asking, but yeah, you would never have a paid off home that you're renting, that you're being a landlord for, and then have a mortgage on your house. That would be a NAR. So you should have sold that house immediately and used all that equity in the new purchase there. I'm not sure if I'm right to keep the rental. No, you're not. It's $12,000 a month. Plus all the interest that you'll be charged on this other loan. Should I sell, or the only loan? The other one's paid off. And I'm asking, why move? Why do you have to upgrade? Why do you have to get a more expensive house? I mean, may have a good reason. May have just might be the reason. But that's a lot. That's over, what is it? I can do math. It's $235,000 more house, and what you need that for. Yeah, so yeah, sell it. You know darn well. Again, know darn well they should do that. Yes, sell the rental property and pay off my current house quicker, or invest the money. No investing the money. You pay off your house first. You do not invest beyond the 15% of gross income, and that comes from your income, not from selling houses. Selling houses would go to paying down the loan on the current house. Or should I keep the rental for rental income forever, ever? 53 and 43-year-old couple, thanks. Yeah, no, you don't keep it. I know you want to keep it because you keep asking. Am I right to keep? I'm not sure if I'm right to keep the rental. Yeah, so wants to keep it, obviously. Keep the rental there, keep the rental there. So wants to do that, but that's a NAR from Mr. Ramsey and Mr. Simpson, which that's my last name. No relation to Homer. Since I think a lot of people, they hesitate because one spouse always has some plan to fix everything, but they drop it soon after. That's a good thing. That's a good idea as well. Yeah. I mean, he may not, he's not doing everything correctly. So he's doing it wrong. He was doing it wrong already. Let's see. Some people change their mindset when it's money they worked for. Yep. Amazing, often people want to keep doing the same thing, but they want a different outcome. Right. And of course, as we know, Aslan, that is, I think it was Einstein maybe, said that is the definition of insanity. Wanting to keep same thing and expecting a different result. Boom. Seeing commitment and progress motivates them to get on board more because they think it will actually work out this time. Need to experience the proof of concept and they can't just visualize it and execute. If you're busy working, you are not busy spending. That much is certain. So it's a win-win. Sid wants to know any fun plans. I might go see Thunderbolts with the adult son. Let's see. If not this weekend, probably during the next week sometime. As it says, the same reason Ramsey does the snowball on debt, so you feel like you're making progress, right? So you get you get more wins faster. So, and again, that's not what the calculator says, which is a lot of the Ramsey thing. It doesn't go by just the calculator, mostly not calculator. And this is a short post, but it got locked after 37 comments. So people went in there. Hypocritical. Oh, and this is why I forgot my past 69. Okay. I know the baby steps are, this is what I say all the time. Yeah, this is what I say all the time. I know the baby steps are whatever, but yeah. I mean, because like what I always say is, I know the baby steps say to do blah, 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 blah. And then I say period, and that's it. All the rest of the stuff that you typed doesn't matter because this is the steps. Either do them or don't. But yeah, but if you're going to do your own formula, there is no point in you following the baby steps at all. That's correct. That's correct. And, you know, you can pick and choose whatever parts of the baby steps that you like and just do those as well. But we don't need to know about it. You know, of course, that's the whole thing with the internet. You get to know all kinds of things you didn't need to know about, but you know, you don't have to run it by anybody or share it with anybody. A lot of people just want to be right about something, and they don't, of course, want to do it the Ramsey way because that's a sacrificial way of doing it. That contains sacrifice in there and contains actual hard work. Even if it's not manual labor, it is difficult to do. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it and there wouldn't be a problem. and Dave would be out of a job. But no, it's not easy at all. Oh, we got some cake pop. Come in, prepping for Mother's Day. Mother's Day, having family over to decorate the baby's room. Happy early Mother's Day to everybody. Thunderbolt. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know if you've heard of Marvel movies, Dr. Baloney. There's a lot of them. New Lunar Nights with a K. It ends today. What is that ends today? Let's see. Baby step 2 flare. I started a new job a couple months ago and I've been able to save up a good amount, enough to cover any immediate emergencies like a hospital visit, etc. Well, if you're doing the baby steps, you would save $1,000 and everything else would go to your debt. So you might be doing it wrong. My job is very secure at a very old company. I'm 23, still a baby. I've already taken out too much debt in my life. Right, student loans, vehicle, credit cards, but it stops today. Great. So also don't have more than $1,000 savings as well. Put that on debt. I've got myself the things that I wanted, and I've decided it's time to fix my money problems and be better. Being better is a good general advice for everybody. I'm paying off my credit card as soon as I can over the next few months and never looking back. I've already started putting a few dollars a week into complimentary index funds. Nope. You're doing it wrong. You don't invest while you still have debt. It's very, very, very simple. Look, steps 1, 2, and 3. You do one at a time in order without even thinking about the higher steps. So guess what? You're in step 2. There's no investing. No. There's no saving more than $1,000. No. Or you can just do your own thing. Knock yourself out. It's your life and your money. Fully support you doing whatever you want to do. But you're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. You're not in just the personal finance subreddit. Or in the just general advice. Or the dumb people thing, or the debt. I see debt people. Maybe there's a subreddit called I see debt people. But the Dave Ramsey subreddit. What you doing? What you doing? So you're doing it wrong. On top of Roth 401k through a company, you're doing it wrong. Biggest monthly expenses, vehicle expenses. So I guess getting into more debt actually ends today for you, apparently. Okay, that part's great. The rest of it, you're doing it wrong. Biggest monthly expenses, vehicle payments. It's not so much an expense as a debt. Don't have housing expenses. Very long stories, but just trust me. Okay, I will. You know what you did? You didn't even have to bring that up, or if you did, you could have stopped. I don't have housing expenses. Part of me wants to keep paying just a little bit over the minimum and putting the rest in investments. Dumb. I profit around $1,000 a month minimum after budgeting for all expenses. No, you don't, because you have debt. It's not profit. You're not thinking about things correctly. You're doing it wrong. It's fairly new, and I still owe over $40,000 on it. You could sell it too. But since you're not doing the baby steps right, I assume you wouldn't part with the car either. Because the whole I got what I wanted and now I'll stop. That whole thing. Other part of me wants to pay it off as much as possible fast and then start investing heavily with what I've saved from it monthly. What are your suggestions? I appreciate any advice. Do the freaking baby steps instead of your dumb own crap. Mr. Ramsey's baby steps have been proven, millions of documented success stories, 30 years of experience, and your thing that you're doing does not have any such stats on it. So you get to do either. I fully support you doing either. What I would advise you to do, of course, is the proven method and not your dumb ass crap. Okay, context. Henry's and the baby steps. I assume that's an acronym. I don't know what that is. I'm interested in the stories of many Henrys currently working the baby steps or have completed them. A Henry, thank you, is an acronym for high earner, not yet rich. High earner, not rich yet, actually, in the order. And defined as having at least a 250K household income. Why would it? What? Okay, I guess they can do whatever they want to with a net worth less than 2 million. You don't think a net worth of 2 million is rich compared to the average person? You don't think so? People are nutty. But what is it? Interesting stories of them. I'm sure there's people that would fit into that category that have done their own thing, and also some that would have done the baby steps. Again, you would think the people following the baby steps would be in this position, unless people are doing a lot of debt leveraging to get a high net worth. So I don't know. There's 4 comments there. So don't know about that. And again, this is one of the things where, you know, it's an acronym, it's a thing, but does it have to be? Do you have to have everybody doesn't need their own little acronym. You know, you have a group of 5 people in the whole world and they need their own little thing called a Henry. You know, it's kind of nutty to me. Sid feels like, for her, she has so much to do before baby comes, and yet I also feel like I'm going to run out of things to do. That is what we call a dichotomy, Sid. As I'm doing for training for a trail race later this month. I don't know where he got small from. Maybe the word some bothered me. You're very organized, so you might run out of things to do, Sid. That's true. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thanks for the after show, Steve. That means Aslan is 8. Although it's just about time anyway. It's just about out an hour anyway. End of June for baby Sid. You got Sid, you got Mr. Sid, and then baby Sid. Let's do this last one then. No grade. 8421. Should I sell second home? Let's see. Is there a mortgage on it? The answer is yes. So again, should I sell something? Almost certainly yes, is the case on the Reddit. And maybe just in life. If somebody is willing to even bring it up as a thing that might happen, probably you do need to be doing it. Myself 37 and wife 34. Income pre-tax $250,000. After all taxes, withholding health insurance, blah, 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 blah. Take home is $168K. I said 66K high yield savings, which you would not have extra savings other than the emergency fund while you still have debt. 120K extra other savings you would not have higher than the full emergency fund unless you are on step 7. Liabilities 198K mortgage at 3.25, 30-year fixed rate. If you had to get a 30-year or felt like, I want to do that so we have more flexibility, guess what? You can't afford that mortgage then. Still got a mortgage on both houses. So yes, you do sell that. There's no buying a second house if you haven't even paid off the first one. Dumb. Currently renting out our home that we owe $198 on to a very nice family and giving them a deal of $15K per month, which covers our mortgage, insurance, taxes. I know Dave says that renting always ends up being a lot of work, and he's right about that, having done it longer than you have. Thinking after this year lease, we might sell the second home. Net proceeds estimated around $130K. Yeah, you don't even have that much equity in it at all. So that would be, shouldn't have bought it in the first place is the basic story. So yes. So one of the things about following the baby steps, and people don't think about this either because they don't want to do it. They like the dumb crap they've gotten with debt and they want to keep it. And so what you do when you start following the baby steps is, and the Ramsey advice in general is, oh, let's see what I've done that I shouldn't have done that was dumb as crap and undo it. Like, for example, buying a second home. That would be just one of them. But I mean, since that's their only debt, and you do that, and then probably you're A-okay probably after that. And then prioritize paying off your residence. We're fairly new to making this much money per year. Most of our lives have been living way below our means, but we spent above the means by having a second house. Dumb. Saving every extra dollar we can. No, you haven't. You bought a second home. And you turn the first one into a rental property. That's not saving every save, maybe dementia today, maybe saving every extra dollar. That's not saving extra. I'll give up on that. You see what it says right there. You're not doing it though. Thanks for any insight you might have. Insight would be, yes, sell it, follow the Ramsey advice. As always, that's how that works. Alrighty. And since it's Toodles, everybody getting out, beating the traffic out. So I guess that's my cue here. YouTube.com/coachstevemoney is where you are watching this. And if you are having, also doing another stream at 4, another after show at 4 p.m. And it'll be the last one probably because I'll be just doing the one at this time, the 10:27 a.m. after show that happens right after the Ramsey show. The new time who dis? The new 9 a.m. start time for the delayed Ramsey show video on the YouTube. But anyway, Ramsey Solutions, certified financial coach, and if you have money problems, if you have money problems at all, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. Links in the ticker below, also the description. You can email me, coachstevemoney@gmail.com, about anything on my channel. Donations go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively to CashApp, $CoachSteveMoney. Walmart gift card to the same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, this stream, one today at 4 p.m. of course. It'll be the last one at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and Monday through Friday, though, the ones at 10:27 a.m. following the Ramsey Show YouTube broadcast. Those will continue. 10:27 a.m. Monday through Friday will be continuing. Bonus after show today only at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Ready? As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day. Thanks for sticking around, Sid. Dr. Baloney insisting on supporting me despite me blocking him. Nutty.